We are we want the gold, sucker! We want the gold, sucker! Yo, what is up, y'all? This week, it's your boy. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go out and say it. It's your black, Indian, and white boy, Ben Goosen, here this week on the show. And the show's not about black people. It's not about white people. It's about wrestling people. That's the good thing about wrestling is it transcends. It transcends everything. Everything. Transcends races. I don't care if you're black, white, Mexican, Cuban, Asian. Like Will Smith said in the Miami song, don't matter if you're black, white, Cuban, or Haitian. It's about wrestling fans. We got a great show today. I have a feeling me and Sage are going to get into a nasty argument today because that's what we do, and that's how it ends up turning out half the time. I got a good feeling. We got a hot topic. Our brother's talking about wrestling today. We're wrestling fans talking about wrestling today. So I'd like to introduce y'all to my boy, none other than Sage. You know, you say it. I mess it up every time.
Can I just say, like, the jiggling, baby? Go ahead, baby. The jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. It's your boy, Sage the Mock. What a do? Oh, my God. Your boy's alive, hot, and on fire today. We gonna get it down. We gonna get it flipped. What's going on? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let me ask you
something.
Let
me
ask you
pumped up
something.
already, and it ain't even Friday.
Sage the Mock, do you love me? Are you riding?
I gotta do that with my car, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know,
I saw the clips of those. Like, I seen them on Instagram, like where people are like walking out of their car, and I thought it was just like a prank or something. I didn't listen to it with the volume going or anything like that. And I saw, people like, I don't know, lock themselves out of the car and then falling. I'm like, man, y'all are stupid. And then I come to find out today that this is actual like a challenge, like a thing. I'm like, God damn it. I gotta go out and do
story? So the other day, I'm parked outside Dollar General, get in my car. A homeless dude walks past me. He's outside the place or whatever. And he gives me the universal signal for a lighter. He says, you got a lighter? I'm like, what's this dude? Is he really asking me for a lighter? You know what? He's probably just wants some change. I got, 75 cents or whatever it is on me. Let me give him some 75 cents. He can go into Dollar General, throw out a quarter and buy something. Big deal. I was just there to get a quick Gatorade anyways. That's it. And lo and behold, I get out and I forgot I had my car in reverse. I pulled that same mistake. Oh, you hear that damn cat already chiming in on the podcast. That's what I get. I thought he was asleep 30 minutes ago, but
get that Bojangles, bro. Hey, when your car was going in reverse, were you doing a little heart signal? Like,
yeah, I was doing the Orange Justice, sitting there, and then I started hitting the dance. Hey, we got a busy show. Man. We got a really busy show today, so we could start off on the topic of the week if we want. We could. I mean, it's completely optional. We could start off on the topic of the week, but I think should we get into some Extreme Rules?
Yeah, you got to salivate. You got to let that thing simmer, man. They come here to hear two black guys talk about the topic of the week. We got to make them wait, man. How about y'all go to y'all hit us up at that Patreon, patreon.com/IRWP. And there's a little clip there. Y'all go check that little clip out. I left it out for free for you guys, so you guys can go check that out. Just give you a little taste and preview of what we're about to get into. But yeah, let's get into this Extreme Rules, Goose.
All right, let's get into some Extreme Rules. Give the show, let's go high level first. Give the show an overall rating. If you can just give the show overall, and then we'll get into matches and all that stuff.
Yep.
Overall rating. What do you give it?
I give it a B minus. We did poll the audience, and it was pretty much it was a 40-30 split between either liking it or hating it. And then there's people who absolutely loved it. But I mean, it was one of those pay-per-views where you either loved it or you hated it. But yeah, I give it a B minus. You?
The show wasn't bad. I think I loved, absolutely loved that they closed the show with the IC title. And if you notice this week on SmackDown, we'll get into later, they closed the show with the the US Championship. So I like that these two titles are becoming prestigious again, huge things. The card itself, it had some matches, I'm not going to lie, that I blew past. I went and walked my dog after a match, knowing I was going to miss the next match, and it didn't bother me. I thought starting off with the New Day Insanity on the kickoff show was hot. That was one I didn't want to miss. I love the ending. New Day could do anything. Sanity is proving they could do anything. Still got a lot to prove. They're still young in the game. But I'd say a B minus is fair. Because I can't think of... It's hard if you're not NXT TakeOver to get an A+. It's really hard. I mean, NXT TakeOver is only 2 hours, give or take. So it's easier, to have quality as opposed to 4 hours. I will say this. Did you notice that the show ended like 20 minutes earlier than normal?
I did notice that it ended. I watched it late, but I did notice that it was a bit shorter at the end. Was there any rhyme or rhythm to that?
No, there was no production issues. There was no reason. There was no injury. It just flat out ended in Central Time at 9:40. Most of these shows end at 10, and now that they're on the network, they normally end a little bit later. So I loved that it ended, to be honest with you, early. I don't know if it's because I'm a man with 2 kids, all that good stuff, but I just it brought to me like it made me watch the final match between Dolph and Rollins, because once it ended, especially once sudden death overtime started, I thought, wait a minute, wait. This show's still got 40 minutes. They're not going to do a 40-minute match in sudden death, are they? Oh, well, it's sudden death. I can't miss this. And then it ended in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So it bought that, like, wait a minute. And a lot of times the shows run till 10, 11 o'clock at night. They run past the normal 3-4 hour mark. And then you don't know, what's going to happen, when's going to end, what's going to end when. So I thought it just and them ending early brought a whole new level of, oh, wow, like, this isn't, I got to keep up with this live, especially in the day of spoilers, on social media. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. That some of the placements of the matches I didn't like too much. I did love the fact that they did start it off with the tag teams, yeah, man, Curtis Axel hitting that backpack dance.
Oh my God, the backpack kid.
Yeah,
he can't do it as good as Ben Goose.
Flooring it, man.
Yeah, he doesn't good to see as near as good as Ben Goosen does it.
And to be spacing out right now.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, real quick, I think I asked you this last week. Can you hear these pops in the background?
No, you sound good, man.
Okay. Well, SeaWorld fireworks are going off in full force. It's either SeaWorld fireworks or your boy Ben Goose.
SeaWorld love.
And lives in yeah. It's either something really good or really bad. But yeah, the B team picked up the win. Was the match of the night the main event to you?
I guess it depends on what you consider to be the match of the night. I think, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the KO, like the cage match between KO and Braun Strowman. It was entertaining all the way through and through to the very end, from beginning to end. It was amazing. I thought the Shinsuke Nakamura match was pretty awesome. The way that it was articulated, it was short and sweet, but to the point. It did what it needed to do. Still not a fan.
My match of the night was the Shinsuke match by far.
Yeah, and then I'm still taking title is still has not main evented in almost 200 days.
What, the Universal title
Might even be a little bit longer than that.
or the SmackDown title?
The WWE Championship.
True, but does it have to?
At least once.
I agree. It could be at least once.
Roman Reigns without the title and without being in the title picture has main evented more times than the WWE has, or the WWE belt has in the last year.
See, that's the thing. You know, I've been thinking lately, if you're the champ, I look back to CM Punk. He didn't main event a lot of shows when he was the champ, and now AJ Styles isn't. But it's the need part. That's what I'm starting to understand. As a wrestling fan, I just want to watch the show, and I want to watch a show that puts on what will be the best matches of the night in chronological order, or in some form of order where, you know, I see a great match, like the Undertaker streak matches back in the day when the streak was still on the line, and then after that match, you'd have some kind of phony bullshit match to kind of think like, okay, well, let me go get my popcorn, let me settle down for a bit. But I kind of like that, the unpredictability, like I just said. Like, I don't think anymore that you're crapping on AJ Styles because Roman Reigns is in the final match of the night. I think that you have the ultimate trust in a guy like AJ Styles, that because match of the night, it really could be the first match of the night. It could be on the kickoff. It could be on NXT TakeOver the night before, or it could be the final match of the night. These days, the last match of the night, the main events, not too often are they? Maybe it's Roman Reigns' fault. I don't know. They're not often the best match of the night. So I feel like main events now need to keep you there, just keep you in your seat, keep you logged into the network, keep you watching, but it doesn't have to be the best match of the night. For example, if AJ Styles, WrestleMania, AJ Styles fought Nakamura, on paper, that should have been the match of the night. That should have ended the show, but it didn't. So I think the way wrestling is nowadays, it's okay to have a heavyweight title, or one of the heavyweight titles, not in the main event. Now, I agree with you, though, in general, just out of respect, like, hey, you have 10, 12 pay-per-views a year. Throw AJ a bone. Give him at least one main event slot. But
he's gonna lose the title. I guarantee he will lose the title and not be in the main event slot. I guarantee it. And I'm trying to find out when the last time he actually main evented a pay-per-view with the belt. And it looks like,
so if you were a wrestler, would you be offended?
I would. Like, if I'm not defending, if I hold the main belt, which is supposed to be the draw belt, and I don't main event at least once every quarter, I would be pissed as a wrestler. Like, I would.
So
I would be pissed. Well, I mean, to the wrestlers, it might not be a big deal to them, but as a fan, I think it's disrespectful and disingenuous to the champion. They have the belt on him for a reason. And with the amount of work that he does to put other people over and still be able to retain the belt, like, it's, I don't know, man. I feel like ever since AJ got the belt, like, even from the first time, he's just like, they don't treat him like a main eventer, man. I literally feel like the WWE belt is the Intercontinental belt of old. Like, he's the Shawn Michaels. Well, I should say that he's the Bret Hart with his Intercontinental reign, and the Universal title is, I don't know, I can't bring up an analogy. Stone Cold, I guess, which it's never there. The Universal title has been main evented more times than the WWE title has in the past year. How is that even possible?
And that's okay though, right? Like,
the Universal title. We're talking about a title that has not been. It's only been defended 5 times in the last 24 months.
I see what
That
you're
belt
saying.
has seen more pay-per-view main event slots than the WWE title that is defended nearly every month.
I see what you're saying. But hey, for AJ Styles, his checks that they get deposited on the 1st and 15th.
You're right.
So as long as that happens, he's all right. Extreme Rules was good. Good matches. Kevin Owens with the sick bump. Man, I thought that match was as good as it could have been. I didn't expect a great match out of the two, but I liked just the overall what it told. I've been really big actually lately. I've been really big on. I've mentioned it actually the past 2 or 3 weeks. No, maybe even as long as a month. I've been really big on watching and paying attention to wrestling for the story that's told during the match, even if it's a quick 5-minute squash match or something. But really focusing. The match doesn't even have to be great. Not even great wrestling. Who knows? But just the story. So Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream, great story back at Takeover. Gargano and Ciampa continue this story between them. I swear, I would hope these guys get called up to. My dream is that Aleister Black, or excuse me, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. No, I'll say Tommaso Ciampa gets called up to the main roster. He gets called up to Raw. He wins one week, and they say, you know what? You got an Intercontinental title match the next week. And Gargano interrupts. So it continues that feud from NXT to the main roster. And I mean, ideally, I'd like it on SmackDown. Quality of wrestling on that show's a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it's the story. These two, it's this. I can get into that. I'll get into that when we get into our takeover predictions in a couple weeks. But it's the story that I've really been binding to in wrestling lately. So I'm okay with as long as the match card makes sense. There's sometimes where you watch it and think, I don't care about this main event too much. I will say surprise of the night. I don't remember. No, you know what? Last week I remember who I picked. I picked Reigns because you never bet against Reigns, I believe, last week.
Yeah.
And Lashley picked up the W and on Raw. So
and I am pissed. I am
what?
pissed.
Why?
But we'll talk about when we get into Raw, man. But I am literally livid right now. I just down. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But there's one other thing that, man, what are they doing with Asuka, bruh?
I don't know. I thought so. I don't think that this week was about. WWE has strategically done things this week. Asuka, Nakamura, Jeff Hardy. I think that these and Carmella have strategically been placed, and I like it. I don't think at this point Asuka needs to win the title because we already know she could whoop some ass. In a fair fight, one-on-one, she's going to beat most of the roster. She loses on the pay-per-view because of some tactics by James Ellsworth, which I loved.
Yeah.
And it makes it, what it does is Carmella, no knock on her, but she's not as good in the ring as Asuka, but she's a good character.
Yeah.
She's got the character piece down. She's captivating on the mic. So she wins that match. Asuka goes on the rampage, beats up everybody. Has a match with James Ellsworth, beats up everybody. She beats him up. It's still, Asuka loses, but to me, doesn't lose any cred at all. And then she's tough because she's beating up all these men in the ring. And then she injures James Ellsworth, and it still shows what's going on. And I'm pretty sure she's going to continue on to her next feud. So it was a feud that didn't hurt Asuka.
Irish whip, bruh. Like I'm okay with her losing to Carmella. Like that part of it, I'm not mad at. Like, it's Carmella's run. We get it. She's an awesome heel, regardless if people believe it or not. You don't like her because she's that good of a heel. But an Irish whip to the cage,
that was pretty bad.
I mean, come on, man. It just, you got to do better than that. You gotta do better than that. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
the creativity wasn't there. Right.
They're normally good, but that you got to do something better.
Yeah, the creativity wasn't there. But we'll get into SmackDown in a bit. I like what they're doing because good wrestlers are protected in their losses. Or
Yeah,
I
they
should say
are.
protected. SmackDown has a really good. They're doing a really good job of somebody loses, but they don't derank.
Yep.
Somebody wins and they rank up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
SmackDown has a show where people will lose, but the story still goes on. I feel
It's because they
like
let them go. They letting them
yeah, they
go.
do.
Like,
The
no
SmackDown
squash
main event
matches
this week,
whatsoever.
the SmackDown main event this week, regardless of ending, was 30 minutes. Sage,
Yeah.
30 minutes for a 2 hour show. That's a quarter of your show.
Yeah.
That's huge. I'm not dissing Raw. Raw's 3 hours. Raw makes more money, obviously, by the contracts and TV deals signed. But it, SmackDown's doing a good job of keeping people relevant. I wish Ty Dillinger would do a bit more, but hey, you know what? I'll take the doses.
Yeah, but even he
Raw,
got more of a. I mean, he got some time this week, man, and he got some offense in on Joe too. So I I can't be mad at that. SmackDown does a great job of not making jobbers. Like,
right. Making a competitive landscape. That's what drew me to WCW back in the day is
yeah,
you had that, I don't know who's going to win. And I'm saying this because this guy might sneak a win today and get a push. Ty Dillinger could have beat Samoa Joe this week and got that soft push. Let's get into our SmackDown review, and then we'll
yeah,
get into the hot topic here in a bit. SmackDown, I really enjoyed head to toe.
yeah.
I watched the entire thing, pillar to post. Becky Lynch cutting the promo afterwards. I thought, even if that goes nowhere, cutting that small promo of basically, I'm coming for the women's title. Carmella, watch your back. And we all know that Becky Lynch was the first women's champ. That goes a long way. Even and it was a 1 minute promo. That goes a long way.
Yeah, there's definitely continuity on SmackDown, and we're seeing Becky Lynch. Like, in hindsight, I forgot that she's been like winning matches here and there, and they've been just
Exactly.
kind of, just giving us little sprinkles here and there of her winning, and then it culminating to basically a match at SummerSlam. So I absolutely love it. I think that she's probably going to be the one. Didn't expect it, but she should be the one to take the belt off of Carmella. Then we'll see a little bit back and forth, and then that's when the real women's wrestling will start to shape and form with with the Iconics and Charlotte, who's been absent for the last couple of weeks.
She is. They're
Um,
just keeping her off. She had some surgery, so I think a breast implant went wrong, and she had to get that fixed. That was kind of post WrestleMania news, but she wanted to be fixed up by SummerSlam.
gotcha. So yeah, man. I mean, it's okay, man, and I don't mind AJ, coming in the middle of the show or the beginning of the show, and I mean, it's just it's such a solid product, man. It's such a solid product. I like the rematch between Shinsuke and
Wait,
Jeff Hardy.
hold on.
Oh, my bad.
I want to get into that in a minute because I have a feeling we're going to talk about that for a while. What did you think of? I'm going to let you say his name. AJ Styles versus.
Rusev Day.
No. We're not going back to Extreme Rules.
No.
We're talking
Oh, my bad.
SmackDown.
My
Andrade
bad.
Cien Almas.
Oh. El Idolo. Yo, my boy Cien Almas coming with that straight fire son with the tranquilo pose. Let's go. Yo, that match was amazing, bro. That match was amazing. If they would have let it go some more, man, they could have fought the entire SmackDown and we would have been all right, man.
So did you okay, we obviously knew during that match that Styles was going to win,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I got the impression, as good of a match as it was, especially since Cien almost won the previous night against Sin Cara with the double knee, I got the impression that them two went at it in the ring. But
Yeah, they
Cien,
did.
It was 50% as good as it could have been. But both of them knew that, so they held back a little bit. If it was a true main event and almost was coming off this super push or something, it'd be huger or bigger. But I felt like they held back, which I was fine with because it was a great match.
Yeah.
But
Don't
how
wanna get
awesome was it to get that match for free?
Yo, that's why I love SmackDown, son. And
Yeah.
I can't even be mad at that, man. I mean, yeah, oh my goodness, it's good to like he's special, man. Like he's special. Like I always harken back to when we saw him live at NXT San Antonio. It was about like 2 or 3 years ago when he was on his on TV. He was on his face push, and then we kind of booed him into being a heel wrestler, and it
Yeah, I
just
remember that. That's right. That's right.
clicked, man. It clicked, and just seeing him against AJ Styles just gave me so much hope for this guy's future, man. And I'm so glad that Selena Vega is with him. And I can you imagine CN versus Daniel Bryan or CN versus Samoa Joe? Like it's man, it's going to be amazing stuff, man. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's got a lot going for it. I think it's got a ton going for it. I think that Cien's going to be a star no matter what, especially with, and we haven't even really seen on SmackDown what Zelina Vega could offer. Now, the rest of SmackDown was great. They showed a quick backstage segment. I don't know if you watched it on Hulu or not with, who was it? Lana in the background with Aiden English, and Aiden English was apologizing. So I kind of like that even though Rusev wasn't on the show, they're kind of setting up that something might happen between the two. And we had a good SmackDown when the Miz's segment, the funeral of Team Hell No,
That was great.
was not one of the best segments. Was not the best part of the show. Matter of fact, it's not in a bad way, but it was not one of the best moments of the show. You know what I mean?
It was decent. I mean, I enjoyed it. It had some good laughs to it, and some just further showcases how Miz is quick with the quips and the comebacks and stuff. So I thought it was pretty awesome, man. And I did like the backstage segment. I don't know. SmackDown is just outperforming. Like I'm at the point right now, like where Raw is just hanging on by a string of a thread because SmackDown is just that much better.
Well, at least they're trying with Bobby Lashley getting the wins.
They
kind of
are
switch it up a bit,
which is good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now the main event.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry to cut you off. The main event, I loved Shinsuke. What Shinsuke's doing at Extreme Rules, winning that match in 30 seconds, a title change in 30 seconds because Shinsuke did something that's so shitty. He did the low blow to start on Jeff Hardy.
God,
and then the immediate Kinshasa was like, Shinsuke, if ever you liked him as a face, that's solidified. Because when he fights AJ Styles, there's still a little bit of face in him because you're going to get a great match. Now he fights Jeff Hardy, who could be one of the most over wrestlers of all time, regardless of what he's been through in his life, in WWE or out. Interesting, that might be a topic in the future. Regardless of what he's been through, he's got charisma. He's always going to be over with the kids, the fans, everybody, including the older marks. We want to see him succeed. Shinsuke Nakamura low-blowed him at Extreme Rules, Kinshasa him, beat him in 30 seconds. And at the rematch, within the first, 2-3 minutes of the match, went for the low blow.
Yeah, he did.
Went for it thinking, and the story behind that is great. It's, I'm the champ. If I low blow you, I'm still the champ.
That's right.
I don't care if I get disqualified. Hey, I'm still the champ. And that to me was just amazing.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like but the quickness of that Kinshasa, like it literally got hit when the bell rang, man. Like he was already like running. And then the bell rang and bam, he hit him with the Kinsashi. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Oh my god.
Yeah. It was nuts. And then he carried that momentum to SmackDown going for the low blow. He doesn't get it. Dude, so it was a great match. That was a 30-minute match. Jeff Hardy, it's official, I assume. They kind of soft officially made. He cut the promo in SmackDown, and he is woken Jeff Hardy now. He's got the face paint. I love the face paint. I like the eyes. It's cool. It's different. Jeff Hardy could pull it off. The kids, the fans like it. It's something cool. And did you hear him reference the obsolete?
Yeah, he did.
He did. So we got full woken Matt Hardy, full woken Jeff Hardy. Though I said this about Matt Hardy, I wish they would have beat these guys down a little bit more and broken them in till they become woken or whatever. But Jeff Hardy's super over. I liked the match. I thought Shinsuke, I don't know if you noticed, he took a sick swanton.
Yeah, like full body, like his full
he took
body.
A real.
Boom! I was like, "Yo, like, wow."
Yeah, he
it's always something with that swanton, man. It's got like superpowers or something.
So let's talk about the ending of that match and the ending of Extreme Rules match.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is back as a heel. Talk to me, Sage.
I mean, he's basically leaving off where he left off. I mean, he's picking up where he left off. I mean, his last feud was actually with Jeff Hardy, so it's not. I guess they're playing the angle that, hey, you put me out while I was contending for the U.S. title, and now it's my turn to exact my revenge. But I kind of think this is they got to be careful the way that they play this, because it kind of seems as though they're trying to sucker. He's trying to sucker Shinsuke in. So like he's not a full-fledged heel, but I think this is more of a program between Shinsuke. The long play is Shinsuke and Randy Orton, and I don't like it because you could potentially turn Shinsuke face without
Correct.
Without intending to do so. So just tread lightly.
One of the problems with Randy Orton, I like him. I'm a fan. So I'm cool with him being full-fledged heel. I think he's a better heel than face. If you ask me, I don't know the guy. I think he probably prefers playing a heel than a face. So I think that he's heel, and after Tuesday, he's definitely heel. After what he did to Jeff Hardy, the earlobe ripping thing was awesome. But what I worry about him is that he flip-flops so much between heel face, like Big Show style. Hey, we need you to feud with this guy. Go be a heel for a week. Nope, go feud with this guy. I worry that that'll kind of dwindle down because he's still a popular wrestler and all that. I think he works better as a heel. I don't think I agree with you. I don't want this to end with him beating Jeff Hardy by whatever means and fighting Shinsuke, because that just turns Shinsuke right back to face. And we all know in wrestling, when you flip-flop back and forth from heel face, it doesn't do much for your career long term. So I like a heel Randy Orton because he's better in character, and his character itself is just a natural heel. So, but again, that goes back to being super excited for Raw. You know what I mean? Or excuse me, for SmackDown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And if we get another week where Shinsuke and Randy Orton are side by side, it's going to probably be the tilt. It's going to tell us that that's where the program is. But I would like to see Shinsuke feud with like a serious feud against him and Ty Dillinger. They still have one of the best matches in NXT, and it would be interesting to see them translate that to
The main roster.
To the main roster. I think that would help benefit Ty. I mean, he's had some great matches with AJ, but they never capitalized on it. Maybe they can do it with Shinsuke. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Now let's get into Raw. We touched on some things on Raw earlier.
Yeah, man.
Bobby Lashley is the #1 contender.
No,
I like it.
He's not the number
Yeah,
one
he
contender.
won the triple threat.
No, so the way the thing worked is that the first off, the opening promo was awesome. You know, between Paul Heyman and Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle threatening to strip Brock of the title. And Heyman says, "Hey, we're going to defend at SummerSlam." Bobby Lashley comes in. I think he cuts a pretty decent promo saying that he beat Roman Reigns, so he should be next in line because he's got the legit tools. And then after that, the next person who comes out, I think I want to say it's Drew McIntyre. They came out next.
Yeah, it was everybody at the beginning of the show.
Bruh, that exchange and those pops between those two was just like amazing, man. Like when I saw Drew come out, and even everyone came out except for Roman Reigns, but like I was legit excited because I thought that, man, it could either be Drew or it could be Bobby Lashley going against Brock Lesnar, and that would be amazing if it was one of those two. I would absolutely flip for it, man. I thought that was the way they were going, and then all of a sudden you hear dun 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 dun. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
And then when they announced the match, so it was basically 2 triple threat matches for the night, and the winner of those 2 triple threat matches goes on next week to fight each other one-on-one for the chance to fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And the moment that I saw that Bobby Lashley was on one end and
Roman Reigns
was on the other end, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. They let this motherfucker get over or take the pen clean so that Bobby can do the job for him next week. No. Why? Like, why? Did you not see what Drew McIntyre did the last 2 days? Like, seriously, why in the world would you reward Roman Reigns with the opportunity, man? Give it to, oh my goodness, man. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. And I'm not a Roman hater, man. Like, I'm not. I seriously am not. You've got other people on the roster, and I don't want to see Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar 4 with ultimately Braun Strowman cashing in on at the end of the match. I don't want to see that. I don't.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Lashley, what I do like about it is that we get Lashley and Reigns on actual TV next week. And it adds, again, to the story. If Reigns wins, then him and Lashley are one-on-one. They should have a third match, see who's better. But Reigns will go on to SummerSlam, win the title, and then that sets up a Reigns versus Lashley title match, maybe. I actually think if Lashley fights Brock, it just adds to the intrigue. It'll make me watch because I'll think, well, I know what Reigns is going to do. He's going to get beat up for 5 minutes, maybe take the elbows and be all bloody, and then last time he took 6 F5s? So now he's got to take 8 to 10. I don't want to see that. I want to see maybe somebody new. And then you know what? If Lashley fights Brock, you have these 2 humongous guys. And quite frankly, if Brock wins, that'll make me, especially now that we know he's going back to the UFC, that makes me think. It doesn't make me think, all right, well, whatever, we're without the Universal title because Raw has some talented wrestlers. It makes me think, man, now I really can't wait to see who beats Brock. If Lashley couldn't do it, Reigns couldn't do it, maybe it's Seth Rollins. Like it gives that question of, crap, who's it going to be? Oh, wait, Braun Strowman still has the money in the bank. That's the easiest write-off is Brock could have a hell of a match and have a tough match and then just get cashed in on because Braun Strowman's a beast. So I actually like the Raw main event scene, how it's going. I dig it because Lashley's thrown in there. He's not the greatest ever or whatever, but it's just, it's something different. Us fanboys, we ask for that. Hey, give us something other than Reigns. And then half the people say, oh, hey, who are you giving us other than Reigns? Lashley? No, I don't like it. You can't say you don't like it when it's a complete shift. Pretty much, if Raw went by the fans vote, Seth Rollins would be champ, Dean Ambrose would be champ, Ziggler, McIntyre, and Finn Balor would just have all the other matches on the show. You can't go off just what the fans want. Proof in point is that WWE doesn't go off of just what the fans want, and they made what 500 million or something crazy on the TV deal with re-signing with USA just for Raw, the show that's not even as good as the other one.
Yeah, but the ratings aren't too kind to them either, man. Like that.
I don't think ratings matter, Sage.
It does.
Sage Mark. I'm telling you, ratings
trust me.
Ratings are at a low, and they just made $1 billion on these TV deals. You can't tell me
that
that
has a clause in there that they can end up pulling if they go under like a 1.0. So I mean, it's ratings do matter. And sponsorships matter too. We've saw throughout the last year where what was it, the not Mae Young, but who's the other one, the Fabulous Moolah, because of that backlash thing, they had to pull the name of it and change the name of the event at WrestleMania because she was a human trafficker.
You know what, Sage Mark? Ben Goosen challenges you to a debate.
You don't want to get in a debate with your boy Sage the Mark.
I challenge you to not only a debate, but the great debate. Ratings do not matter.
You want to go against your boy Sage the Mark again and take another L.
We're going to discuss this. Let's add that to the topics on the great debate. Okay. Ratings don't matter to me. Ratings don't matter. They don't matter. They don't matter. They don't matter. The great debate 2 is coming up. Ratings don't matter. I'm officially, Ben Goosen is saying ratings do not matter. Let's make ratings great again. No, I'm kidding. That's a topic. I text you some topics. So I text you after this.
Talking about that.
Oh yeah. Ratings do not matter, and are you? That should be a topic. That should be a topic, right? On the great debate too.
We'll add it. So just to provide some context, guys, it's the first time you guys are hearing the term the great debate. Your boy Sage the Mark, and man, that sounded wrong. Your boy Ben Goosen and Sage the Mark. We every once a year we get together and we do a special. We take some controversial topics from the community and some of from some that we actually come up with, and we debate about it. It's usually over a 2-week period. So Goose will do his 1 week, and then I'll do mine the other week, and then we put it to a vote and see who our community feels had the stronger points. So we're going to be doing that. So if you guys have any questions that you want us to debate, no matter what they are, they don't have to necessarily be wrestling related, but it could be sports or gaming. Let us know. Hit us up on Twitter, or preferably at our Patreon, patreon.com/IRWP. Or you can hit us up Twitter, Real WrestleCast, or at Real WrestleCast, and let us know what you guys want to hear us debate about. You got that phone number, Goose?
I actually do. And I actually got the right phone number because before we started the show, I somewhat tried to bring a caller on the line and it didn't work out completely. It's a Cleveland area code. Don't get confused. 419-777-IRWP, 419-77-IRWP, 419-77-IRWP. Don't ask me what the IRWP. I don't know what those numbers are, but just look on your phone. You'll be able to call us pretty easily. Not hard.
That's right.
So we got a topic we got to get into.
Give them that call. So, before we get into the topic, just one more thing about Raw, man. Kind of a neurotic segment.
Which one?
Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah, they've done that kind of the past week or two, huh?
Yeah, not like that, man. That seems like some I was a little uncomfortable, man. Maybe it's because I'm a dad now, but like that was a little uncomfortable, man.
Yeah, just switching the game up, adding some style, adding some flash to the show.
I guess
Nothing wrong with
so,
that.
man. A little color, man. So I think this is ultimately just gonna end up in an Iron Woman match at Extreme or not Extreme Rules, but at
SummerSlam, yeah.
SummerSlam. What do you think?
I think the same. It's got a 30, 45 minutes, hour, whatever. It's got to end up in a longer term match. Even if it's not an Iron Man match, Iron Woman match, it's got to end up in a long match.
Yeah. Okay. It's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, that's actually the match that I want to see going. Like that's the match that I want to see at SummerSlam.
Oh,
I think,
absolutely.
yeah, I think that one deserves a good spot on the card, but they need to start building quickly. They only got 4 weeks to go.
Now, hot topic of the week. I'm going to start
Yep.
off. Let me just read you for the listeners who don't know specifically what's been said out there. I'm going to start off by reading a quote, a tweet, which I guess these days is a quote, from Titus O'Neil. And it starts off: to my gracious fans in the WWE universe, the reports and rumors concerning my boycotting Extreme Rules in Pittsburgh is false and inaccurate. I was not scheduled to attend or be a participant in Extreme Rules, and I'm paraphrasing this whole thing, shorten it up a bit for the show's sake, and was not booked for the show. The talent present in Pittsburgh, which I was a part of, was asked to attend a mandatory meeting in which Mr. Terry Bollea, which is Hulk Hogan, addressed everyone and affirmed the same, that he would be reinstated into the Hall of Fame. At no point during, after, or otherwise did I make any scene concerning Mr. Bolea's communication to the talent. In addition, let it be known that I did not refuse to shake Mr. Bolea's hand. We did not have any type of one-on-one interaction whatsoever that would or did necessitate any exchange between us individually. As to the reinstatement of Mr. Bollea, I can only communicate that I am a proponent of second and even third chances for individuals that show true remorse, acknowledgement of wrongdoing, fulfillment of their punishment, if applicable, and otherwise put forth sincere efforts to correct the issues. Unfortunately, I must echo the sentiment and dissatisfaction expressed by many of my fellow contemporaries concerning Mr. Balea's apology and its lack of contrition, remorse, and a desire to change. Mr. Balea's apology that he did not know he was being recorded is not remorse for the hateful and violent utterances he made, which reprised language that has caused violence against blacks and minorities for centuries. I stand firm in my position that Mr. Balea is entitled to reinstatement. He was, is, and he was and is a role model, hero, and icon to countless people. I hope that Mr. Balea's missteps in communicating to the WWE talent in Pittsburgh are not repeated to his fans, and I expect that he shall pursue an agenda that clearly communicates to all third parties that his language was inappropriate, wrong, and should not be tolerated in a civilized and inclusive society. Titus then goes on to talk about, as a father of two young black men, I've spent their entire life and majority of my adult life with one singular focus, being a role model for my children and young black boys and girls. I take the tremendous pride in my charity work. I teach my sons love and tolerance for everybody. Hope this clears up any confusion. I, like the New Day, will continue to use my platform to positively affect and impact people. Now, I'm going to paraphrase this just to keep it short for show's sake. And this isn't just me and Sage highlighting the points that go towards what we're saying. Kofi Kingston also chimed in. To the WWE universe and whoever else may concern, this will be the only statement we will make. And this is New Day speaking on behalf of the New Day. This will be the only statement we will make regarding Hogan's reinstatement. We do not wish to spend the energy debating the point, because between our kids, venues, etc., we don't have the time for it. We are only writing this simply to provide an answer to many who have bombarded us with questions. We preface this statement by emphasizing that this is our opinion and not of the WWE or anybody else. How do we feel? We're indifferent. We are not happy, sad, angry, or resentful. Who WWE puts into the Hall of Fame is totally, and completely up to the company. And from a career standpoint, there is no argument whether Hogan should have his place in the Hall of Fame. We have no problem with his reinduction in the slightest degree. It is impossible to even begin to mention the history and evolution of the business without mentioning his name and accolades. Now, on a personal level, when someone makes racist and hateful comments about any race or group of people, especially to the degree Hogan made, we find it difficult to simply forget, regardless of how long ago it was or the situation in which those comments were made. But we also do not respond with feelings of more hate. Great point, by the way. Instead, we just do not associate with the people who convey or have conveyed this negative and hateful mindset. This instance will be no different. Perhaps if we see him make a genuine effort to change, then maybe our opinion will change him. Time will tell. Through the course of our lives, people have used racist comments towards us, and it doesn't feel good. But if we stopped moving forward every time we were met with prejudicial hatred, then we would never have achieved our current accomplishments. We know we're worth it. We know our kids are worth it. And most importantly, we know that our people that look like us are worth it and always have been. And to paraphrase, having said that, his reinstatement won't change anything for us. New Day is, for the long story short, super positive about the whole thing, and we're positive within one another, and we're going to continue to do what we to do. We're going to continue to do what we love to do, and deliver an entertaining product each week. Thoughts on Hogan being put back in the Hall of Fame? Great for Titus and the New Day. Great commentary on that.
Yep. So when we originally were speaking of this, I came off with the mindset that, all of us make mistakes, and he owned up to it, and he's gone publicly saying that, that he messed up.
Also, just to chime in, if you go back and you watch our YouTube feed, you could actually find our commentary on Hogan. If you look up Black Men Discussing Hogan on YouTube, if you go back to the show, this was a month ago, we were not debating what happened or reinstatement or anything like that directly. We were actually comparing the level of severity between Enzo, Rich Swann, and Hogan, and the level of severity between the instances that happened between the three of them. But now, today, it's official. Two black men discussing Hulk Hogan.
Yep. For the most part, I'm still in that mindset that we've got to come at some point. We have to come at some point to where we have to forgive people for their transgressions, especially if, and this is where my commentary is probably different from what I said last time, if they make a sincere effort to change their way, not making excuses for what they have done. They own up to it, and they, are sincere in that efforts. I know that, the last time, Goose, you were concerned that maybe he's just doing this for the money, and that's a valid argument. Where I take umbrage to this is, and I don't know if it was just a slip of the tongue thing, or he just didn't know what he was saying, or if he just sincerely believes this, is I don't like it when people make excuses that, hey, this was in a private moment and I was recorded without me being known, because it doesn't make it all right.
No, not at all.
In my opinion, it doesn't. It's like saying, hey, it's okay for me to be a racist as long as I'm not being a racist in public. It's not okay to be a racist, period. Whether you think the cameras are on or if it's off. And for those who defend that, I've saw a lot of commentary, especially off of Kofi's feed. Those who defend that or allude that to, someone being in prison and for murdering somebody, and it's not the same. It's not. You either are remorseful for what you do, or you pretend that you're remorseful so that you can get what you want. And the latter of the two doesn't do anyone justice at all.
If you have that word in your vocabulary and you're hanging out with white people, and you have that word in your vocabulary, it's not okay at all. That's bad. It's terrible. If you have, I could spit off 10, 20 other racial terms. Now, here's the difference. If Hogan, he was referencing his daughter seeing somebody, whatever, but if you use that word like he used it in a spiteful way, that's bad. Now, if he would have just got caught, I said this on the last the podcast a month ago. If he would have maybe got caught, and this is difficult to even do, saying a bad joke. There's racial jokes out there everywhere. You can Google it, watch Daniel Tosh. There's racial jokes everywhere. Got caught in a racial joke that just wasn't funny. All right, maybe a little bit different. But that word is you say that, and then you come into a locker room, and one of the references you make is, "Hey, I didn't know I was being recorded." As a black man, hell, as an Indian man, as a white man, that's got to be out of your vocabulary. There's no excuse, no reason for you to use that term. If the reasoning is, like you said, "Hey, I'm sorry, didn't know I was being recorded." I don't give a shit if you're recorded. That just means to me, you say these racial terms when you're not being recorded. That to me is no different than anybody who cheats on their wife, and some celebrity cheats on their wife and they're on TMZ next week, and they say, "Ugh, sorry, babe, I didn't know I was recorded." What the hell do you mean you didn't know you were recorded? That means you've probably used that word more than once. Hey, sir, you've probably cheated on somebody more than once. Hogan should not be allowed back in the Hall of Fame. I don't give a shit who thinks he should. Your contributions to the WWE, they can get erased real quick. Real quick. You do something bad. Matter of fact, I'm going to go off to an extreme here. Chris Benoit's not in the Hall of Fame. What he did was terrible. There's no remorse. There's no correction for it. Obviously, that's to the extreme here, but that does prove a point of, hey, you know what? There is some stuff that you can do out there that's just overboard. It's just too much. It's way too much. You can't do that. That word can't be in your vocabulary. Matter of fact, it can't be in your vocabulary when you say these things. And you could argue the biggest WWE name of all time is a half black man who's the biggest draw in Hollywood right now.
That's right.
And Dwayne Johnson. And The Rock has commented. He's put his thoughts out there on this stuff. But you say that word, and part of your reasoning is, "I'm sorry, I was being videotaped." That's not good. I don't care who you are. If you take Hogan out of it, if you call me that on the street, first off, I'm not going to give you the time of day because you're trashy. I don't have time for that. You got to go live in your own world. You're using that word, you got bigger problems than me. If it's in your vocabulary, it shouldn't be. There's that word, the N-bomb, and I could think of 20 other words that are not in the vocabulary of a non-racist person.
Yeah, I mean, and none of them are okay. And the other issue that I have a problem with is that WWE is going to try to capitalize on this by doing a 24-hour special of Hogan acting as though this is like a redemption story. And I don't know how I feel about that. I think I might be even a little bit more upset about that than I am about the fact that Hogan made those comments about, it being okay to use that because that's how it was back in the old days, or let me paraphrase it a bit more clear. I think he said that the reason why it slipped out is because back in the old days in Florida, it was common for them to say that, but that doesn't make it okay for you to do it now. Yeah, it's not today. It's obviously it isn't today, but the WWE is allegedly there's a documentary coming out. I think it's going to be that 24/7 series that they have going on the network, which is usually good. I don't like the fact that they're going to do it for Hogan in this situation. I don't think it's appropriate at all. There's I think it's asinine that China is not in the damn Hall of Fame because she made a sex tape, but yet you reinstate someone who is a
A racist.
racist who came out and apologized, which I thought, I thought he was good because, he seemed sincere, but then makes a comment that, hey, this is the reason why I was making excuses for what he did. No,
And
like
it's
this is
Sage.
ass
You
backwards, man.
what did they change the name of earlier? You mentioned it. The women's what? Because of what?
The what was it? The
Mae Young's.
Fabulous
Fabulous
Moolah.
Moolah.
Yeah.
Memorial. They changed the name of it because she didn't treat women, or the perception was
sex
she didn't treat
trafficker.
women. Yeah, she didn't treat women. She treated women bad. But you're gonna bring this guy back? You completely revamped and changed the name of this trophy. But you're bringing Hogan back?
It's money,
Fabulous Moolah was. People said
money.
she did this. There's no proof. There's no hardcore proof. But there's proof Hogan said this. Google it. Anybody could find it. You don't that word if I saw him, if Hulk Hogan walked past me right now and he said, "Hey, you know what, brother, I'm really sorry. Hey, how about I tweet out, hey, go listen to the IRWP." That would do a ton for us, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't sell my soul to the devil, man.
Never.
I mean, I would never do that. Like, I'm a Hogan mark. I will say it through and through. I am a Hulk Hogan mark. Like, I grew up with Hulk Hogan. I love the work that he did. As a character, he's an icon. He belongs on the Mount Rushmores of wrestlers. But that aside, from a humanitarian standpoint, I can't get behind someone who makes excuses for their transgressions. There should never be an excuse for it. It should be, I messed up, I fucked up, I was wrong, I plan to make amends for it, and that should be it. I don't plan to profit off of it. I don't plan to make a TV special about it. I messed up, I was wrong, and I'm asking for forgiveness from my peers, from my cohorts, from those who have been impacted by it. That it should have been left at that, and we could have moved on, and we probably wouldn't have even had this discussion at this particular level. But I'm pissed. Like, I literally am pissed off that this whole thing is going on, and I hope to whoever you worship that the community boycotts this special, this redemption special that's coming on, because it's a travesty for it to be to anyone to try to profit off of this. Like, I can't get behind it.
It's bad.
I'm even at the point where I might, like, if they do it, man, I might seriously get rid of the network.
If Hogan, because with him being reinstated, that leaves the door open to Hogan making an appearance in the ring, not fighting, but coming back. This generation doesn't remember Hulk Hogan. We're past Hulk Hogan. This generation remembers John Cena, Roman Reigns, maybe a little bit of the Attitude Era, but the child generation doesn't know who Hulk Hogan is at all. They know who John Cena is, and now they know who Roman Reigns is. Hogan isn't a draw at all. Maybe he's a cherry on top. No knock on the guy. He's got money, fame, etc. But WWE doesn't need him for anything.
Oh,
he's old news.
I agree, man. And again, it sickens me to my stomach that they are considering to do a special a redemption special, and you can reinstate this guy, but you can't put China in the damn Hall of Fame.
Yeah, China did porn, but you can't bring her in. A guy says the N-word, but it's okay to bring him back. That's the thing, is to officially bring him back. No one cared that he was kicked out of the Hall of Fame. No one cared. That story could have ended, and we all, honestly, as wrestling fans, we all would have thought, well, technically he's in, because in the wrestling world before he said that, yeah, he's pretty much a part permanently of the WWE greats. But yeah, I think we've kind of touched on it more than we need to. It's just bad. Hulk Hogan, you just, I hope for the best for you, but I hope for the best for you, man. I'll just say that you're not welcome in my Hall of Fame. Not based off what you said. You're not sorry. You're not remorseful. You can't say the N-bomb and then go hang out with black people or do something for black kids. It doesn't work that way at all. Just the fact that that word was in your vocabulary. Step the fuck off, man.
Yeah, man. Like literally, I would actually have him on the show so that he can hear our peace of mind on the thing. I mean that, and not for no promotion or anything like that. I wouldn't even tag it or anything like that, but just so that he can hear it from someone who's actually impacted and affected by it. Like I would do that. But as far as all this profiteering stuff off of this, man, y'all can go fuck yourselves. And I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. So fuck off.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Heated debate. You knew we had this coming. It was good to get it off the chest. Once I saw that he was reinstated this weekend, I just thought, oh hell no, I got to talk about this on Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, I got to do a quick correction to what I just said. When I said I would have him on, I meant to say wouldn't with the D apostrophe T, wouldn't NT.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. I was thinking about when you said that I'd have him on the show. I was like, he would come on the show because he'd want to appeal to the black vote, but I would not. That's right.
Would not have him on the show.
Other than that, before we wrap up the show, outside the ring, Cain Velasquez, former UFC heavyweight champion and training partner of Daniel Cormier, for current light heavyweight and heavyweight champion, was at the WWE Performance Center this week. That was pretty sweet. I don't know what's going to come out of that, but I'm a fan. Seeing MMA at a WWE crossover. You?
I mean, yo, Cain's one of the best to ever do it, man. What's going on, Silky? Good for you to join us, man. Yeah, man. I'm stoked. I'm very cautious about the oversaturation between the MMA into WWE. I don't.
It keeps it special right now because it's rare.
Right. So I mean, just keep that just not too much. We've got five or six MMA stars in WWE right now, and I think we need to cap it like at 8. So no more.
Yeah, keeps specialty. What else? I think that's pretty much it, right, for the week in wrestling.
Yeah, I mean wrestling. Well, yo, Ronda, bruh. Yo.
Yeah, I kind of like what you're doing there.
Yeah, I forgot to say that, man. That flip she did on Alexa Bliss was crazy, bruh. And and shout out to Mickie James, man. She wrestling in the heels on Extreme Rules. That was insane too, man. So that was pretty awesome. Outside of the ring, man, just a couple of things. So Kawhi's gone from the Spurs.
Trash. Yep. Spurs got the best deal they could.
Yeah, they did. So he's going to Toronto. OVO gonna do his thing up there. So that's that. Mae Young Classics in a couple of weeks, and that's that too. Comic-Con. Are you a Comic-Con fan?
Yeah, I've already kicks off this weekend. I've already been paying attention to the horror news and horror trailers they got.
Awesome.
That they've spit out the
trailer for the Titans.
Not for the Titans. I've been hoping this weekend for an Aquaman trailer and a Godzilla Rise. I think it's called Rise of Godzilla. They released the poster yesterday, so I've been paying attention to those things. And then they played It Chapter 2, which comes out next year. You know I'm a horror movie guy.
Yeah,
They
you are.
played a small clip of that this week. And then the Call of Duty Zombies I was paying attention to. They released 2 new trailers this week. So, yeah, I'm pumped to see what goes on. I heard Walking Dead kind of stole the show this past 2 days.
Yeah, there's a lot of spoilers going on, but for that, so I'm just kind of like, I mean, a
Staying
lot
away
of
a little bit.
spoilers. Yeah, kind of staying away from that, man. So, but yeah, man, Comic Con's this week. That's going strong. They did. I don't know if you. I know you're Xbox guy, so you probably don't know what Uncharted is.
I don't.
Okay, so it's basically Sony's platformer. So think of. I guess I hate to say it's the Halo of PlayStation because it's not really like a first person shooter kind of thing, but it's an action adventure game. I don't know what the equivalent would be on Xbox, but anyhow, so for the past 3 or 4 years, they've been in talks. Like Sony's been in talks with, or Naughty Boy or Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog has been in talks with Hollywood to produce a live action movie. It's kind of like Indiana Jones is basically what it is. It's like an Indiana Jones flick, bro. Unfortunately, we got this sad news a few weeks ago that like the project is dead.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, casting fell out and producers, creative control, just flat out died, man, which was terrible, man. Terrible. But Nathan Fillion, I don't know if you know who that is. Hopefully I pronounced his name correctly, but he's I think he was from oh goodness. I can't remember what his name is or what he's from, but him and a couple of Hollywood producers did like a little fan flick of it, and they released it this week, and it is like flipping amazing, man. Like it looks like this like the old CGIs where you have the little cut scenes and everything, and then when the action starts, like the movie looks exactly like you're playing the damn game, bro, and it's like fantastic. You got to see it.
That's awesome.
It's amazing, man. You could probably put like buttons on the screen while he's doing the action sequences, and it looks like you're playing the damn game, bro.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna have to pay attention to Comic-Con a ton this weekend.
Yeah, you gotta check that out, man. Yo, that'll make you guys want to check that out and see that. So y'all keep on that radar right there, man. Uncharted, y'all make it happen, please. Make that happen.
Yeah, tons going on this week. We tried to we had a good show this week. A lot going on. I gotta say, right?
Yeah, man. Good stuff this week. A lot of craziness, man. A lot of craziness going on in this world right now. This is probably a tough week for America, and I'll leave it at that. But you guys just gotta love one another. Love one another. That's the key. Love and respect. Right, Goose?
Yeah, absolutely. Peace, love, unity, and respect, especially with the craziness that's going on in today's world with what you can and can't say out loud and all the stuff caught on tapes. We're not going to get into that too much, but hey, we just want to say thank you for tuning in to this week's show. We had a pretty intense show this week. We got the great debate coming up. Well, pretty soon here. We got some interesting topics. I think Sage and Mark and I are going to iron out probably 3, 4, 5 topics to discuss. The great debate. We'll also still it's good, like Sage earlier told you, it's going to be a solo show where we'll still review Raw, SmackDown, etc. But we're going to have the show's really going to focus on really debatable topics, just some controversial topics, some stuff that needs to go on in wrestling, some stuff that maybe shouldn't go on in wrestling. We touched on some of those today, Hulk Hogan included, Asuka, Charlotte, where is she now? And just a couple of different things on what should go on in the way of wrestling, what's going to happen over the next year. It's interesting because we have the Great Debate one that you can go check out as well if you go through our feed. Hit us up if you can. We're not hard to find. 419-777-IRWP. Yes, whatever voicemails you leave or whatever phone calls you make will be on the show. Or just in general, hey, the easiest way to hit us up is definitely on social media at Real WrestleCast. 419-777-IRWP at Real WrestleCast. That's the easiest way to get at us. We do polls constantly. Man, the Wrap It Up music's ended. I'm ranting too long. I'm your boy Ben Goose, and that's the boy Sage Mark. Keep it real.
For real. Coming for that Hogan.
Hey, what up? It's your boy Ben Goose, and the thoughts and opinions today are that of the host and not of the IRWP. At the end of the day, remember, we mentioned it several times throughout the show. Respect one another. Differences of opinion are perfectly fine, and hey, keep it real.